Brescia Cathedral. Lightning disaster, Italy, 1769. Lightning struck the church of San Nazaro in Brescia, Italy, in the year 1769. A lightning strike occurred. There were around 100,000 pounds of gunpowder that were being stored at the church at the time. The strike was responsible for a significant explosion, which ultimately led to the destruction of 1/6 of the city to be destroyed. Approximately 3,000 people lost their lives in an instant as a direct consequence of this, while thousands more were left without a home. Because of the magnitude of the explosion, many neighborhoods were utterly obliterated. Not only does this sad event continue to be one of the worst lightning-related incidents in the history of the globe, but it also serves as a reminder of the dangers that are involved with storing explosives in areas that have a high population density. The Dronca disaster, Egypt, 1994. During the month of November in the year 1994, the Egyptian town of Dronca was struck by one of the most devastating lightning tragedies in contemporary times. An oil depot was damaged by a bolt, which resulted in the explosion of storage tanks. The entire village was engulfed in flames as rivers of burning oil ran down the streets, engulfing homes and torching the entire community. A total of over 460 individuals lost their lives, while thousands of more were left without a place to live. Lightning strikes can set off chain reactions that are significantly more damaging than the impact itself, as seen by the calamity that occurred. Texas Panhandle Lightning Storm, 1930s. A massive lightning storm that swept through the Texas Panhandle between the years 1930 and 1940 caused damage to oil fields and storage tanks. The storm was responsible for the destruction, a series of gigantic fires that burned for several days, generating a red light that illuminated the night sky and could be seen for a distance of several miles emerged as a consequence of the situation. The destruction of cattle and crops, as well as the forced evacuation of entire communities, resulted in the loss of a significant number of lives. A number of improvements in lightning safety measures were made in oil sites as a direct consequence of the accident, in addition to the terrible economic losses that have occurred. Safed. Israel lightning disaster, 1838. Two separate disasters struck the city of Safed in Israel in the year 1838. Both of these events occurred simultaneously. After being devastated by a catastrophic earthquake, the city was subsequently struck by a lightning storm which caused fires to break out over its vulnerable buildings. The city had already been weakened by the earthquake until this point. In addition to the destruction that was caused by the earthquake that occurred before it, the swift engulfment of timber homes and religious buildings in flames made the situation even worse. The fact that more than 4,000 people lost their lives as a result of the combined disaster is evidence that lightning has the potential to transform a situation that is already dangerous into a tragedy that is considerably more terrible. Mount Chimborazo, Ecuador, 1880s. Climbers who were attempting to conquer Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador were caught in a thunderstorm while they were high on the slopes. The climbers were unable to complete their endeavor. Late in the 19th century, this occurrence took place. They were entirely exposed because there was no proper shelter available to them, and as a result, they were struck by lightning, which occurred on multiple occasions. A number of climbers were violently killed in an instant, while others had severe burns as a result of their injuries. The sad occurrence brought to light the higher risk of lightning at high altitudes, when climbers are closer to storm clouds than they are at lower altitudes. This increased risk was specifically brought to light by the tragedy. Mountaineers are warned that lightning can be just as dangerous as avalanches, and this warning is still given to mountaineers to this day. U.S. Army Barracks Disaster, Cuba, 1902. The United States Army barracks in Cuba, which were used to store gunpowder and ammunition, was struck by lightning in the year 1902. Around 100 troops were murdered as a result of the explosion that was caused by the strike, which demolished the barracks. Others were hurt as well. The incident was a recurrence of the tragedy that occurred in Brescia centuries before, demonstrating once more that lightning and explosives are a combination that may be extremely lethal. In addition to this, it compelled militaries all over the world to accord lightning protection systems a higher priority for munitions Storage facilities and depots. Bangladesh. Lightning outbreak, 2016. One of the most devastating lightning strikes in Bangladesh's contemporary history occurred in the month of May in the year 2016, and it was one of the most widely reported incidents. Over 65 people lost their lives as a result of lightning storms that occurred over the course of several days. The bulk of those who lost their lives were farmers who were working in open fields. As a result of the fact that lightning is responsible for more than 70 deaths on average each year, the government of Bangladesh has decided to classify lightning as a natural disaster. As a result of the occurrence of this calamity, educational institutions and rural communities decided to undertake measures to promote awareness. They instructed individuals to immediately seek cover anytime they heard the sound of thunder. Congo Basin lightning strikes, ongoing. There is no other place on the Earth that is more likely to experience lightning strikes than the Congo Basin, which is situated in Africa. Due to the fact that it records more than 150 lightning flashes per square kilometer on a yearly basis, the town of Kafuka, which is situated in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is taken into consideration to be the lightning capital of the entire world. There are a significant number of fatalities that occur as a consequence of the fact that storms occur almost every day. Nevertheless, these deaths are generally not officially documented. It is the belief of experts that the geology of the region, which is comprised of mountains and humid tropical air colliding with one another, provides the right conditions for storms to occur. Lightning is not something that the people who live there are subjected to on an ad hoc basis. Rather, it is something that they experience on a very consistent basis. Lightning has been proved throughout history to be both lethal and destructive. From the catastrophic explosion that occurred in Brescia in 1769, to the lightning outbreaks that have occurred in Bangladesh in recent times. These storms have been responsible for the destruction of cities, the loss of thousands of lives, and continue to pose a persistent risk in specific regions of the world. Experts are warning that lightning may become even more frequent in the future as a result of climate change, which is making storms more severe. The concept is straightforward. If you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Thankfully, contemporary technologies such as lightning rods and early warning systems make it possible to lessen the risk of being struck by lightning. Stay inside, take precautions, and remember that you should never undervalue the power of the sky.